Russell.
Morning, Mr. Chair, councillors. So this is the finance report for May. Reports, I'll just cover it briefly, Mr. Chair, and take any questions at the end should there be any. So we're looking at a current operational surplus of 34.5 million, about $21 million ahead of budget. The forecast for year end is after carry forwards is 12.6 million. So that's up about $1.6 million on the April position. So that's pleasing. And I just say that the closer we get to year end, the more certain we can be on the forecasting. So we've seen a gradual increase over previous months, which is positive. And so the reason for that position is pretty consistent as I've reported in previous months. Subventions, receipts coming through, consenting revenues, we're reducing the backlog there. Waste operations is positive. Increased participation in a number of sport and rec centres, and growth in the rating database is also all helped towards that. Some underspends in costs. Staff costs remain under budget by $7 million, currently projecting to be 6.3 at year end. Grant payments, so that's more of a timing, delays in that. Maintenance in transport is down a wee bit. Professional advice, the weighting of that is more in the latter part of the year, so expecting some to come through more. Digital capitalisation, again, that we've talked a number of times around that matter in previous councils. I'll just point out that that's position is still $3.6 million deficit for year end, but that's been a slight improvement over recent months too, which is positive. In the capital space, and I'll just touch this briefly because the acting PMO head will cover that after me, but we're talking about we're looking at about $18.3 million variance at year end, so that's spending of about 686 against a budget of 704. So about $18.3 million will be unspent at year end. That's projection at this point. Most of that, of course, is likely to be requested to become as a carry forward. And just on that, any carry forwards, when we did mention it in section 4 of this report, they'll come back to council for ratification before anything happens after the year-end position. And the Treasury, again, section 7 Treasury, yes, just pointing out that everything is in compliance, all our matrix is in compliance, so again, nothing out of order there. That's pretty much it, Mr. Chair. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Aaron, you're going to... That's a really good report. So we've got Aaron first.
Just, Peter, and I think I know what your answer is going to be, but on the surplus, which year end's going to be 12.6, and given that a chunk of that is from salaries, not borrowed money, can that be used to reduce rates, the coming rates, or not? Or can some of it, or do we just use it to we don't borrow that much?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, that's a really good question. So when we come back at year end and we confirm what the surplus is, a number of options will be put to council what we do with that surplus. Understanding we've already signalled, I guess, of the 12, 7 will be used. That's the subvention payments, so we've already indicated that through the LTP process. Still leaves about 5. So from a cash perspective, cash flow perspective, yes, we're not borrowing as much, but there's a number of options we could use
so
that
we'll
surplus
see that in
for.
Another month.
Sorry?
We'll see that in another month.
Correct. Once the year-end position
cool.
It's finalised. But yeah, traditionally, any surplus is used to be repaying debt, or if anything pops up that we weren't anticipating, we could put it towards that. But
normally our surplus is what underspends on capital projects, but you've got some there that are slightly different.
Oh, this is just the operational spend? Yeah, for sure. So putting capital one side, this is purely the operational spend.
Okay.
We're signalling 12.6.
Yeah, I think basically what we do this year is, now that we've struck the LTP, or except for finals off tomorrow, it would likely be we'd just pay down debt.
Yeah.
With that 12 mil, because we've of that 7's already been tagged to pay down debt. So
Correct.
if you take that and then you combine our underspending capital, it really does help the debt profile a bit as well, and which then has a flow on to interest rates, or interest costs. So could be a really good question, Tyler.
With that subvention, so is it all of the 7 that's going to be paying down debt?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Yanni.
Thank you. Just one question from me. In 4.24, it says that EQ repair program is a proposed carry forward of 88 million. 0.88 of a million. And then you've listed the projects. The previous year we carried forward quite a lot more. Do we have a breakdown of where that spending has been? For example, there was 100,000 on for the Apawa Children's Library, and yet we've got less to be carried forward than what was for next year or the upcoming year than what we carry forward this year, but we haven't done anything with that building. So I'm kind of wondering where the money's gone, and if we could just get like what we had previously. We had quite a good program of how much for each of the individual projects. Is it possible to get that information and just understand what's happening there?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Look, I'm not sure of the detail of your question, Councillor, but I'll take that away and we'll come back and see what greater detail we can provide. Yep.
Tyler's going to move this. Jake looks like he's happy to second it. All in favour? Against? That's carried. Great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.